Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gunjan Daga and I am a charcoal artist. If you are someone who really wishes to create large size sketches, then I have 12 essential tips for you, which is going to help you make a much more neater work, a smoother work, and you're going to do it in a way more enjoyable manner. So, the very first important tip is the selection of your paper. I personally use two brands, Fabriano and Rustro, and the GSM, which is the weight of the paper. I usually go for 200 GSM. I would not advise you guys to go below that. You may go beyond that because the larger the work is, the heavier paper is better so that you avoid all the creases and the unwanted folds. I use one Fabriano roll I have, which is almost 6 feet in height, and that's 10 meters in length. And I use a Brewster roll also for slightly smaller sketches. I actually have a roll over here. This is 30 inches in height, 30 inches in height, and again 10 meters in length. These are all easily available. So you've got your sheet, right? The second is the base. So for the base, hardboards are your go-to uh, bases. And go to any local framer in your area and you can ask for any size of a hardboard. You have to seal your sheet on that particular hardboard. If suppose even if it is 4 feet in height, you will easily get that size. So it's not going to be an issue. We will carefully seal the work and only then we are going to proceed. The third is handling the paper with care. See, a large work comes with a lot of challenges of its own. So we really have to make sure that we are handling our sheets in a very mindful manner. So whenever you roll out the sheet, make sure that you put the paper weights on all the four edges. Seal the work with masking tape. You get these wider masking tapes as well, not just 1 inch. You get beyond that also. So use that, and yeah, that's how you're going to be handling your sheet. The fourth point that I come to is the grid. Please use the grid method for all of your outlines. Larger works, definitely you should use grids. And for that, you have various measuring tools. The rulers are the very basic ones. So you get these 24 inches ruler. I have another ruler which is larger than this, and that this goes up to 39 inches. So you go to any professional art store, they'll give it to you. Another my trick that I can tell you is that a lot of times I also use measuring tapes. What happens is that the sketches are usually so big. I love creating large size works like 4 feet, 5 feet in height. So I use these measuring tapes, which are those sturdier ones, and I get that straight line also, and it becomes very easy for me to measure from one point to the other point. So you can use this trick also. Okay, so with this, I come to the next point, which is proportions are your backbone of the sketch. Please take your time, double check your sketch, because the drawing that you're going to be making is the foundation, right? We cannot proceed to the rendering stage or the later stages if our foundation itself is weak. Otherwise, what is the point of putting all that effort and then seeing that, oh my god, the portrait is not even resembling the person that is there in the reference image? As a matter of fact, any reference. So please take your time and make the outlines in a very careful manner. Again, I'm adding another personal tip from my end. I keep saying this to my students as well. Always wear artist gloves. Okay, and larger works, I have always used this trick, because what happens when we are sketching on a large area, we need a lot of focus, and I don't want my focus to uh, get diverted, and I have to take care of whether the rough sheet is there beneath my palm and all of that. So very smartly, I just wear full sleeves. I want no skin contact with the paper. So that's how I make my entire outline, and I do it very slowly, and I always double check it. With this, I come to the sixth point, which is how to keep your sketch neat. Always cover the areas that you're not catering to. Okay? Get into this habit. Inculcate this habit in yourself that you have to keep sheets of paper around the areas that you're not working on. Okay? And uh, especially when it comes to charcoal is any which ways a messy medium. So when you're working with a medium like this, make sure that you don't use a lot of dust. Build up layers, that's not an issue. But in whichever tool you're taking the maybe charcoal dust, make sure that you're dabbing off the excess of dust. I actually have a video on using a charcoal dust as well, so you may check that out. This is one. And the third point with respect to neatness would be that get rid of the excess of dust that is there on your paper. For example, when we are using the soft pencil and when we are trying to blend, a lot of times it leaves behind the dust, or when you're putting a dark layer of dust, so you see the dust being scattered around, right? Don't leave it there, get rid of it. And that's how you're going to be uh, maintaining the neatness of your work, which is very important. With this, I come to the seventh point, which is extremely important. Observe your sketch as you go. This is a very crucial stage, a very crucial part of making a big work. See, now there is a difference between a person who's working on an easel and a person who's working on the desk. So, we artists, we are working on the desk. So, the artwork is not actually at the eye level, right? So, what I advise is that with every time and again, you have to observe your work, because that is going to make you find out the mistakes that you could possibly be making. You get to analyze your own work while you're in the progress stage, and do it by lifting up the sketch. You can do it, right? Because now the work is sealed on the hardboard. All that you have to do is lift up the hardboard, take a step, take few steps back, and then just see how is the sketch unfolding. Okay, don't be in a rush to complete the sketch and then you will see towards the end. Don't do that mistake. Okay, so lift up the work, check, observe, analyze. So with this, I come to my very next topic, which is patience. Now see, when you're working on a large sketch, there are a lot of people who've actually told me that they start with a lot of enthusiasm, but थोड़ा बहुत बीच में आते आते वो छूट जाता है sketch. I'll tell you why that happens. There could be a tendency to lose interest from a particular subject because you've been working on it for so long. Large sketches need more time, they need more days of work, right? So, few of you might find it monotonous. So, in such a situation, I would say that don't quit that work. Maybe for 2 days you can take a break and work on a smaller sketch or something. Just take a slight shift. It's like taking a mini break from that particular sketch. And when you take that break, just wrap the entire board with a big sheet of paper or with a neat bed sheet. Don't look at it for 2 days. I'll tell you how that is also going to help. Now, after 2 days, when you've taken that break, when you're going to get back to that sketch, you're going to see it with fresh eyes, and then you'll be able to analyze it even more better. This actually works. This is my personal advice that I'm giving you. Do follow it. I'm sure it's going to be useful for you. Now, the next point, I'm going to relate it with the previous point. You could also be losing interest in the subject if you've not selected your reference well. The selection of the reference image is also a very important aspect over here. See, you're making a large work. You would want to create something that is of your interest. So make sure that the selection of your reference is uh, on point and you look forward to every stage. I can definitely share this advice that keep a track record for every day when it comes to large sketches. This is really going to help you. So the way I work is, for instance, today I note down that I have to prepare maybe the border of the sari today in the sketch, and towards the end of the day I do that. So set small targets for every day instead of just randomly working every day. No, keep targets every day, that this is the portion that you have to do today, this is the portion you have to do today. If you've wrapped up earlier, awesome, you do whatever you want to do for the end of the day. But you may want to follow this tracking advice also. With this, I come to the 10th point, which is your background either makes the sketch or breaks the sketch. I firmly believe so. Be very careful with the kind of background that you want to put into your sketch. You do not want your background to overshadow the sketch or create a background which is just going to take the limelight away. Okay, so either the background can enhance the work or it can make it look lesser attractive. It doesn't matter how amazing a work you've done to the focus of the subject. Trust me, background really matters, and when it comes to the larger sketches, don't underestimate this particular part. With this, I come to the 11th point, which is sealing your work. Please use a fixative, keep the hardboard upright, seal your work, only then remove the masking tape. Don't remove the masking tape before you fix it. Otherwise, how are you going to just, put it across the wall? Okay. So do that. And if suppose you have to send it to someone, then roll it. If the sketch is too big, then go to this hardware store, any hardware store, ask them for these plastic tubes. They have all possible sizes of plastic tubes and of various diameters. So you can just put the roll inside that and then dispatch it. I have dispatched a lot of large size sketches in this manner. If they are if they are like maybe 24 inches in length, then you get these art tubes online on Amazon. You can find it. So you can just roll up your work and put it inside that. It's ready to ship. With this, I come to the very last topic and the most important topic. This is actually not a technical thing that I'm sharing, but it's something that I am personally telling you, that a large sketch demands a lot of attention. Along with that, please do it with a lot of love, a lot of interest. If you do not have that willingness to do that work, if you don't have that urge to do a work on such a grand scale, trust me, you'll not be able to finish it. And I'm dead serious about it. I can vouch for it. So you have to have a very strong intention of why you're creating that work and with what emotion are you creating that work. This really helps me. And of course, I can give you a very maybe informal sort of an advice that whenever you're working, this works for me, whenever you're working, put on some great music that you enjoy. Okay, so with this, I've come to the end of all the 12 useful tips that could uh, be implied, and I'm pretty sure that they are going to help you. If you're someone who has to add few more ideas from your end, do let me know in the comment section. Thank you for watching till here, and I'm going to see you guys in the next video.